Well, welcome everybody. My name is Eric Erock Christopher, and definitely excited to have everyone here for the Catitude Gallery and Studio social media training. And we're going to be getting started here in just a few minutes. Wanted to make sure we give everyone an opportunity to hop on board and join us. So just hang out tight and welcome Renee and Valerie to the event. And we'll be getting started here in just a minute. All right, so thank you everyone for attending this event. I'm definitely excited to have everyone here joining us. Welcome Alex and Liliana. And I just want to make sure that you guys all know that there's a little bit of a delay. We're using a program called Google Hangouts on Air, and that's a phenomenal system that we're actually going to teach you how to be able to use during one of our training sessions and one of our upcoming webinar events. But just so that you are aware, there is a little bit of a delay. We're using YouTube to broadcast this, and so due to bandwidth issues, being that this is a live event and it's actually streaming, there is a slight broadcast delay of anywhere around 15 to 45 seconds depending on the connection. So as I speak this, it may take about 15 to 45 seconds before you hear it on your end, but I would highly encourage you, as soon as you do hear information, to go ahead and type it into the chat box. So we have a live chat feature here where if you have any particular questions, you can type those into the chat box, and we do get those live. So we're going to be getting started here in just a couple more minutes. And if you have any questions that you just want to go ahead and type in, please do so at this time. And hopefully have some great content to share with you. And we'll be getting started here in just a minute. All right, so I'm the type of guy that likes to reward people for showing up on time, so we gave everyone a 5-minute window of opportunity to be able to join us, and this is going to be recorded. However, moving forward, we do reward people for those that actually attend live by doing extra things and incentives in order to be able to do that. So this will work out much, much better the more people that we have that are participating. So I'm hoping that you, as Catitude artists, will go and share what a great experience hopefully you're going to have tonight, and share that with your fellow artists so that they'll make it a point to join the next event. And I'm hoping to reveal just a couple good, really good nuggets tonight and give you some really cool resources to help you kind of get off to a fast start. So with that being said, let's go ahead and rock and roll. All right, so we're a marketing agency. We've been doing marketing for quite a long time, and one of the things that I love is brand new technology. Just like we're using this webinar system, it's fairly new technology. We like to stay on the cutting edge, and hopefully we're going to show you how to do the same thing for you as an artist as well. But the goal is to make it as simple and easy to use as possible, because if you don't understand it or you're not able to use it, then it doesn't really benefit you, and you'll quit in frustration, and that's the last thing that we want. With that being said, we always try to find the best resources that people can use to help grow their businesses. I'm treating you as the entrepreneur that you are. So if you're an artist, good for you. It takes a lot of passion and dedication to be an artist, and I'm assuming you all go to the beat of your own drum, and that's fantastic. So today we've got a really cool PowerPoint presentation, but technically it's not even a PowerPoint. It's something called Powtoon Slides, and we are part of a alpha group of testers that have been invited to actually use the system. So hopefully there's no bugs tonight. We haven't had any issues in prior presentations in the past, but again, this is software that is in its infancy, and we're going to share some of the cool features here with you. So hopefully this isn't just some boring PowerPoint presentation. And again, if you have any questions, please throw them in the chat box during the event so that when we hit Q&A time that we can answer those questions. All right, so let's welcome you to the Catitude Gallery and Studio Social Media Training Program. There we go. So welcome. And you're in. We're admitting you into the program. And in case you didn't know, I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Local Business Rockstar. Our tagline is, "We'll make you famous." It is not about us trying to be rock stars. I'm no rock star. I do play one instrument, and it's called the radio. So my wife is actually a professional musician, came here from France, and the goal of our business, honestly, is to make our clients famous, because who doesn't want to be a rock star? Imagine being the next greatest artist rock star. And that's hopefully something that we're going to help you to do with your new social media program. So with that being said, this is the hilarious comedian Jerry Seinfeld, and the premise of Local Business Rockstar, I really love this quote that he has to say, that there's no such thing as attention span. People have an infinite attention if you are entertaining them. So hopefully here during the duration of tonight's webinar, and hopefully for future webinar events, my goal is to hopefully keep you entertained and provide an enjoyable experience, because if you're watching this and you're bored, then I'm failing to not only entertain you, but to train you. We actually call it entertainment, and if we can help make you laugh and enjoy this process, you'll be much more inclined to not only attend the events, but remember how to do what we teach you, because if you can create emotional response, and you as artists, I'm assuming, are probably very emotional folks, because you're, I'm guessing, creative and expressive, then if you can create an emotional response with your art and create that impact, people want to buy your works, right? So the goal of our training program is to be entertaining so that you get great training and entertaining at the same time. And I like to have lots of fun, and I hope you do too. So again, my name's Eric Christopher. I have a nickname of E-Rock. A buddy of mine named Ron called me that a few years ago, and it just kind of stuck. That was actually even before I founded Local Business Rockstar, and it just kind of worked. We've been helping entrepreneurs. I have personally for over a decade. I've been an entrepreneur myself for longer than that. And here's why you should listen to me. Again, trained entrepreneurs and have been an entrepreneur for years, and have coached literally thousands of business owners of all types, from network marketing business owners to mom and pop businesses to national organizations and franchises. So I've been very, very successful and blessed to have worked with a variety of businesses, from artists to craft makers, manufacturers, service-based businesses. We are, as you can see here in the banner in the background, Google certified partners, and that doesn't mean that we get any special treatment from Google or that we can like make things happen in the search engines, but what it means is we're experienced in how to advertise on Google and help to acquire new customers by leveraging Google's advertising system. We're also Google Trusted Photographers. We'll maybe show you some of that stuff later on where we do tours. We'll probably actually even do a tour for the inside of the studio, which would help to showcase artwork. And then we're also successful with copywriting and conversion rate optimization. And really, copywriting is an invaluable tool. I hope to share with you some really good language that you can use in your social media, because words obviously have power, right? So the more that you're proficient in communicating your message in an entertaining and fun and engaging way, because again, part of social media is entertainment, right? Nobody goes onto Facebook or to really conduct business. It's kind of like a party, right? So we're going to talk about that a little more in a little bit. But before we get started, I do want to pay tribute and respect to our fallen family. And you may have family or friends that were impacted by the travesty that happened on 9/11 13 years ago. And I just want to take a quick moment of silence to pay homage to the people that sacrificed our lives and helped bond our country together so that we can have freedom. So let's just pay a quick moment of gratitude and respect and tribute to our fallen heroes. So, with that being said, if you know someone who's in the military, served in the military, thank you for that. We appreciate your service. So here's the two main problems that we're going to hopefully help to address. This is what we found with our clients and when we've consulted with different types of business entities and entrepreneurs. There's really comes down to two main problems as an entrepreneur, and one is lack of knowledge, right? Cute little baby right there. And if you knew what to do, you'd probably be doing it and feel good about accomplishing your goals. So the first main problem is feeling dazed and confused. I mean, who here has not ever felt like they were overwhelmed by the amount of information just in the realm of social media, right? You have all these different platforms, all of these different like strategies and concepts, and how do I integrate it? How do I like get through all the noise and the clutter, and how do I make it work for me as an artist? And then the other challenge that everyone has, I think that everyone can agree that the relative speed of time has increased for us all, and we all feel like we have a lack of time. So I'm sure everyone feels like if they had more time, they could get more done, and they can help us accomplish their goals. So the other main problem is being busy and overwhelmed, right? So type into the chat box if you are dazed and confused, or if you're busy and overwhelmed, or maybe you're both, right? So go ahead and type that into the chat box, and then we're going to do a quick poll here. Oh, and I'm such a jerk. I did not share my screen, did I? So you guys missed out on that awesome screen share because I overlooked a really, really, really simple... Oh, so let's go back. All right, so now we're sharing. So my apologies, and see, even somebody as experienced as me makes mistakes, or maybe I didn't, and you'll relate to me because I made a mistake. No, honestly, it's an honest mistake. I apologize for not sharing my screen. So we'll just go through these so you can see these nice, cool transitions that we spent all day making for you. And again, local business rockstar, our logo, Jerry Seinfeld. And again, there's no such thing as attention span. People have infinite attention if you're entertaining them. My picture, I've been featured in a lot of publicity, television, radio. Here again, our credentials. in tribute to our 9/11 fallen heroes. Great picture. I love that picture, by the way. All right, so here's our main problems, right? So, are you dazed and confused like me? Or are you struggling with being overwhelmed and busy? So if you could type that in the chat box, that would be great. Yes, so Alex and Renee is confused, just like I am, and thank you, Valerie, for pointing out that the screen is still not sharing well. Hopefully that's been resolved. And let's run a quick poll. So how good would you say, and you can see over there on the sidebar, how good are you with social media currently? Would you say that you're a novice, you're relatively new? Or would you say you're fairly good at it? Or are you already an expert and you are here to critique our job and let us know what we could do to be better trainers? So if you could quickly vote on that, that would be great. And then when the poll is over, we will share that with you. All right, and we're going to pull this out, and that'll make it better. All right, so we'll come back and see where everybody's at with their social media proficiency, and let's move on. So here's the solution, and that's strategy. So a part of this whole process is to help culminate and cultivate a strategy on what's going to work for all of you. I'm a big believer in synergy and community and working together, and the goal of this program is to help you all have success, and I'm assuming that each of you has different skill sets in artwork, whether you're doing sculpting, painting, maybe you do work with metals. I'm not necessarily an artist, but my wife is. I live with one, and my daughter is a fantastic artist. And so this whole process is designed to help to create an actionable strategy and how to leverage social media to implement your strategies so that you can get more exposure for your artwork and Catitude Studio, and to help you to sell more art. And so this is going to be a fairly long process. We can't teach you everything in one session. It's going to take several sessions to make this happen. And please make sure that you tell Bonnie that you're grateful for the opportunity, because she's the one who's financing this whole process, and please let her know that you appreciate that. So during this process, over the next few weeks, or months I should say, we're going to be covering different social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, and even LinkedIn, okay? So I'm not sure exactly if this will be the order that we're going to be in, except for the fact that I know we're going to definitely do Facebook and Twitter first. We may do Pinterest sooner than YouTube, but I am going to give you one hopefully really cool nugget, and hopefully you'll actually implement this and appreciate this. If you're already using YouTube, now maybe you're not, and if you're not, we'll cover this, but in case you already are, maybe you already have a YouTube channel set up, and maybe you're doing this already, and maybe you guys can give me insights on how you're doing things, and we can share that with the community, right? I'm not going to sit here and say I know everything about anything, right? I can always learn something from somebody or morph that into something that makes it even better, right? But if you're using YouTube, I think a really cool thing that you could do to help promote your artwork is to simply get an iPhone or a smartphone or some kind of video recorder and actually film yourself doing the artwork, right? Turn yourself into your own Bob Ross, right? There's nothing to stop you from doing that. You don't have to do that, But what a great and simple way for you to kill two birds with one stone. Remember we talked about being overwhelmed with time and being busy? Well, if you actually just took a few minutes to set up a camera, right? Maybe you can get a cheap tripod for 30, 40, 50 bucks. You could probably get something used off Craigslist. Borrow a camcorder if you have to, or even just prop your phone in a way that you can record, and simply just record yourself doing the art, right? And so while we're doing this, we're recording this, right? So we're able to record this as we go, and that provides additional training, right, for people who didn't make it tonight because they're going to miss out. So one thing I encourage you to do, and we'll cover this when we do get to the YouTube section, is to leverage the power of video and show people that this is the process and this is the work that it takes to actually create those beautiful works that you put together, right? We are going to obviously talk about Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So social media is not tremendously hard. The key is knowing where to put the pieces, right? And so again, that's going to go back to the strategy and how do you put it all together so that you have something that you can actually go ahead and do. So we are going to cover just a few tips and tricks tonight for Facebook. Tonight's predominantly going to be focused on just having an introduction, kind of outlaying the course and what you can look forward to in the future. But I wouldn't want you to show up and feel like you didn't get anything right out of the gate, and make sure that you stay to the end, because I promise you that you are not going to want to miss the really cool free, guys like free, right? A really cool free social media tool that you can use to help kind of create a command center to distribute your social media. Right? So make sure you stay to the end, because I promise you it will be worth it just for this one resource in case you don't know about it. And if you already know about it, then kudos to you and you're awesome. So let's go hit Facebook. Now I'm assuming that everyone has a Facebook account, and if you don't, we will cover that in more detail on the next training. But I did just, again, want to give you some really cool nuggets on how to go ahead and get started. So before we jump into Facebook, or while I'm logging in, I'm going to come back to the poll and see where everybody's at. Awesome. So we got 50% of the group who's saying that they're a novice, so thank you for being here. And then we got 50% who's good at it. And the goal by the end of the training over the upcoming months is that you will be very comfortable in saying that you're an expert at social media. And please don't think that that means that you have to be some kind of wizard guru, right? It does not mean that you have to know everything or you're going to start a social media marketing company, right? Being an expert just simply means that you know how to apply these platforms and how to make them work for yourselves and for your business. And hopefully during this process that we make this work so well that it becomes a platform for artists everywhere, and you'll get to say that you are a charter member of the Catitude Studio group that helped to make this happen. So really the mission of this is to have you guys be so successful at this that it's something that Catitude can offer artists all over the country. Okay, so the next thing that I'd like you to do is, if you can, just type into the chat box if you already have a Facebook account or not. If you can type into the chat box, do you have a Facebook account already or not? Screen sharing. Image on the screen is impossible to read as it is moving continuously. So it looks like, again, we're having technical difficulties. All right, so only seeing desktop icons. Are you currently not seeing? All right, good. So Deborah, Valerie, Alex, great. Good to see that you guys have Facebook accounts. Aha, so that's why we're having issues. All right. I apologize for the technical issues that we're having, and we'll make sure we get these fixed before the next event. All right, here we go. All right, can everybody see the Facebook screen? All right, awesome. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Valerie. And I apologize for the technical confusion, why we didn't share the correct screen, but let's get back to production, okay? So let's go back and hit Facebook, and let's make the screen bigger again. All right, so I'm going to assume that everybody has everybody has a Facebook account, and if not, during the next training, we're going to set that up and go through the setup process. It's fairly simple. Please keep in mind, everyone, whether you're a novice or an intermediate, we're trying to make sure everyone can benefit from this. So if we cover something you already know, I apologize. Kudos to you if you're an intermediate. So we're going to go over a few things that maybe you did or did not know as it pertains to Facebook. Okay, so Facebook has obviously made it so much more simple. It's been evolving over the last few years, and things move extremely fast. And I'm sure you guys are aware of this. So the benefit of being a part of this program is being able to stay up to date on the changes, right? So let's come over here and look at that. Let's look at for Catitude. Okay, and you can see that we've liked Catitude. So the very first thing, guys, is if you haven't come and liked the Catitude Studio, please come and do that right now, because part of this whole process is to be able to create a sense of community. And every time the Catitude publishes a post or a comment or a photo, it's going to be very important that you do your part to share. And part of this process is that you guys will be able to share each other's content, right? Because in my world, there's a world of abundance. There's plenty of people out there who love art and are looking for a way to find inspiration and light in their world. Everybody's talking about gloom, doom, ISIS, you know, all these problems, the economy. You guys have an opportunity to give the gift of art and inspiration and light to people. So make sure that you help one another by sharing each other's content when other people are sharing, and make sure that as artists that you're networking and befriending each other on Facebook, right? So, for example, we'll skip this for now. And look, there's Liliana. Liliana's on the call, right? And so here's a great example of something that we can do, Bonnie, to help you to be able to get more attention for Liliana as an artist, okay? So I'm going to come here and I'm going to see if we can find Liliana on Facebook. And I believe that that's Liliana. Liliana, will you type into the chat box that that's your personal profile? Oh, looks like we might have lost Liliana. Oh, that's too bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to send a message. This is a great way to network, right? A lot of people will just try to come here and add a friend, and that's definitely something that we don't want to do. We want to send a message to Liliana if we're trying to become her friend, so that way she doesn't think that we're trying to approach her out of the blue, right? So a good example would be like me calling your house and just simply saying, "Hi, I want to be your friend." That wouldn't really kind of seem right, right? But if I sent you a postcard or a message or something in the mail saying, "Hey, I'd love to give you a call and chat because you seem like a great person," then that could work out really well. So I'm going to send a message here to Liliana. Liliana, sorry for any tech issues tonight on tonight's webinar. Hopefully you can stick around because these are only going to get better, right? I'm going to send you an invite so that we can be FB friends if you would like. Thanks. All right, and you can see here that the message is going to go to her other folder, right, because we're not connected on Facebook, but I'm going to send that anyway. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to add the friend request. So now what I'm doing is I'm increasing the likelihood that if Liliana doesn't really know me, that she's going to want to accept my friend request, because if I don't give her a message or a frame of context of how we know each other, you're not going to be as successful in connecting and making a new friend on Facebook. So by doing a message first and a Facebook request second, it makes it much easier to allow that person to feel comfortable to want to make your acquaintance, right? So we're going to go back to Liliana, okay? Because we want to be able to hear her on the studio. Because what I also want to do is I want to show you how you can hyperlink this how Catitude or Bonnie could hyperlink to Liliana's personal page, right? Or even her Facebook page. So if I'm commenting here right now as Catitude Studio and Gallery, and if I just type in this little @ symbol, right, and I type in Liliana, and I'm guessing Liliana may not be a part of the friends. So here's how it works. I'm posting as a business. So I'm posting here right now as Catitude Gallery and Studio, right? So I'm not going to be able to send a personal message to Liliana because this doesn't show us as being friends. So I'm going to switch back to being me, and I'm going to go back to the Catitude Studio. Okay, and I want to change to here to Eric. There we go. And now I can write something on this page. So, I love Catitude. And look, I get an opportunity to go ahead and when I type that in, and auto completes it for me. Now I can click on it, and this turns that, it's going to turn that into a link when I create a post. Now what I'm going to do is if I start typing in a person's name, I can go ahead and it completes my circle of friends network, right? So I know that Julia LaRussa, a friend of mine in Chandler, I know she's a pretty big art aficionado, right? So I'll just go ahead and choose her. I know that you are an art buff. I thought you might enjoy this page. Now, here's the really cool thing, right? It's a lot harder to promote yourself on social media than it is to promote somebody else. Nobody wants to be friends or engage with people who are like me, or I'm awesome, right? But people always appreciate it when you're complimentary of others. So if you as a community focus on trying to build the presence of Catitude, and Catitude builds a following, that'll turn into a vehicle for them to promote you as artists and your individual artwork, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and post this. And you can see here that my post to this page was over here with a link to the studio and a link to my friend Julia LaRussa, right? And look, she's in real estate, and real estate agents might need paintings to stage homes, right? There's a great hint. Anybody ever tried to target real estate agents or staging companies or staging businesses for home sales as a way to promote your artwork, right? So hopefully that was just an organic piece of advice, and hopefully that can work out really well for you, okay? So another thing that we could do here as well, and I'm going to go ahead and I am going to write a comment here. What a nice smile. I wonder what the final product, I wonder what the final piece of, now, I'm going to add a little hashtag or a pound symbol, okay? And what that does is it communicates to Facebook when I post this comment that my comment relates to this category or topic of discussion. So I wonder what the final piece of art will look like. I'm curious to see the result. If I go ahead and I post that there, you can see here that this also becomes a link. Okay? So now if I click on this link, it's going to go do a search for any piece of Facebook content that's shareable, and it's going to catalog it under the pound or the hashtag art category. And so what happens is you can see here that your fellow comrades, your fellow artists, right, are actually creating posts. This might be an artist themselves. Actually, they have a page for their own business. We're going to get that into the next discussion, right? So you'll be able to do the same thing, right? And you can see that they're, in this particular case, let's look and see what Gallery is doing, because, right, a great way to learn is to model after what other successful people are doing. So we can come over here and see this as a page. So this is not the person's personal profile. This is their verified page, right? And so you can see that this page has over 100,000 likes on it. And so I'll be willing to bet they've been consistently promoting their artwork, right? And if you wanted to, you can come up here and like it, and then you could also follow it, so that way every time that they make a post, you're saying, I want Facebook to tell me every time this page makes a post, so you don't miss out on this. So it may behoove you to come and follow other artists that are doing the things that you want to accomplish. Excuse me, so I hope that makes sense, right? So we're going to come up here and we're going to refresh the screen again. Now, there's something called EdgeRank on Facebook, right? So how does Facebook determine what content is going to be shared here in the stream, right? So it's possible that to be able to share something, and it may not always show up in here in the stream right away. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for their algorithm to go through and detect that and post that in there. You can see that the last thing that was posted based on art was from yesterday, right? So it's not always as instant as we like. However, sometimes Google or Facebook will show content based on the authority and the frequency by which you share. So if you're going to be using Facebook, the more frequently that you use Facebook, the more engagement that you get on Facebook, and we're going to go into this in a lot more detail in the next session on getting people to like, comment, or share your content, right? You can see here that over 800 people liked this particular post, that 32 people made comments on it, and that 24 people shared this content, meaning that they said this was so good and engaging, they wanted to share it somewhere else on Facebook, whether it was with a friend or on their own timeline. Okay? So let's see what happens. Trying to see, hopefully, if we can get that post to show up. And it may not come through again yet, just from the time that it takes to get here, right? But you can see that for nearly 24 hours, if this is the case, that this post has been sitting there. So that's a tremendous amount of exposure, right? And I promise you that there's probably going to be all kinds of hashtags that you can work on, right? So here's another one, again, yesterday at 4:15 a.m. with the hashtag of artwork, right? And you can see here that they're publishing a photo from Instagram. So we'll show you how to actually integrate with social media so that if you post on one platform, it's actually possible to get your platform, to have your message syndicated on another platform, okay? So those are just some of the basic things that we're just kind of getting started out with. There's so much more that we're going to cover in the next session on Facebook. That's going to be the next social network that we're going to cover. Okay, but here's what I want to make sure that we're focused on doing right away, is that when you're promoting something, always make it a point to increase the likelihood of getting. And I want to make a post here as Catitude. Catitude is excited, and we're going to go ahead and it's not going to let us tag ourselves now, is it? All right, so Catitude, we are super excited to launch our very first social media training session for artists. And let's go ahead and do social media. We are looking to empower and inspire, and we'll hashtag that one, right? Our artists to sell more of their artwork. So now we're increasing the reach significantly by sharing this post, okay? Because now we're going to have the potential to have our status update get streamed in here, right? Now, what would I do in order to get a better reach? I probably would have wanted to upload a photo to be able to do that, because we know that over any other medium, even over videos, that photos tend to get the most impressions and most attention and get people to interact and comment and share with your page. All right. So now, let's go back to the PowerPoint, because we're getting close to wrapping up. So what we're going to discuss over the next trainings is how to set up your personal and business accounts for all the major social media channels by being a part of the Academy. We're going to show you how to optimize your accounts with images and content. We're also going to reveal some really unique strategies on each of the channels. Each one kind of has its own inner workings, and we'll show you the best ways to go out and network with people. Prior to this business, I actually owned a network marketing company, and my wife and I were able to build an organization of over 2,000 individuals across North America, including Canada. And what we did is we went out, just like the picture shows, and we networked and met lots of people. And we found ways that we could effectively communicate with the people that we met to make new relationships, open new doors, and help to grow a business that was very successful. And not only did we do it for ourselves, but we taught others how to do this, right? And here's what I love about social media. If it's done properly, again, if it's done properly with social media etiquette, then it simply accelerates the process by which this can happen. You know, no one wants to go around and basically promote themselves. We're not gonna have you go out and promote yourselves. We're gonna show you how to attract people to you and your work, so that people want to be friends with you and follow you because you're fun and engaging and social. All right, we're going to show you how to leverage your Catitude community to multiply your social media reach. Again, this is going to be a synergistic system that you guys are going to be able to help empower one another as artists to build your artist community, but also to help each other promote and sell your businesses. It's so hard to promote yourself on social media, but if you can have an artist who is, for example, a sculptor, and maybe you're a painter, well, there's really no conflict of interest, right? Because not everybody who's going to want to see your art is going to want to buy the other person's product or vice versa. So you should be cross-promoting each other, because it makes you look really good, and you're going to be able to reach people that the other person isn't. And that's going to be a critical element to the success of everyone in this program. We're also going to show you to discover who influential people are in your particular area of art or field, and how to connect with them, and hopefully how to help them accomplish their goals, and actually helping to get them to promote your art, right? So what would you rather do? Go try to build a social media following of 1 million people, or would you rather network with an influencer who's already got 1 million followers and talk about your art, right, to their following? So we're going to show you during this course how to do that on the different social networks. And obviously the goal of this whole program is to help generate leads for your social media efforts, so that you can get a following for your artwork, and turn them into customers. And I hope that's music for your ears. Now, I want to make sure that you guys know that we're here to help. We have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week help desk, right? So Bonnie's only one person. She's financing this whole training program. So we are offering you 24-hour, 7-day-a-week help. That doesn't mean we're going to answer you 24/7 right away, because we all sleep, but it means that you can submit a support ticket 24/7, and we'll reply to you up to 72 hours. So if you have a specific question or concern, or you want to share a strategy that's working for you, please share that with us and submit a support ticket. We're going to ask that you please be professional, respectful, and courteous, because we want to return the favor. We're like a mirror, and we'll mirror. If you're kind, respectful, and professional, we're going to go out of our way to take care of you, okay? And so the web domain is support.localbusinessrockstar.com. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on this. And I'm going to log out because I'm logged in. And this is what the screen's going to look like. And all you'll need to do is come in here and click on a new support ticket. And you just simply put your name, your email, the subject of your email, the kind of help that you need, the priority level, and then type in your description and hit submit. It's really that simple. And again, give us 72 business hours to get back to you. So if you submit a support ticket on a Friday, please give us up until that Tuesday to get back to you, because it's the weekend. We typically try to respond much faster than that, but we want to make sure that we can help all of you if you need it. So give us ample time to get back to us on that. All right, so we're going to hit some homework assignments. The first is we're going to ask that you go out and create sure how to do this. Just type into Google how to create a Google account, how to create a Gmail account, right? Not very difficult thing to do, and all you need to do is be able to set up a Gmail account, and that's going to be imperative so that we can actually invite you onto these events, so that we can actually chat live and take a look at what you're doing. A part of this process is giving you simple assignments, things that you can go out and do during this week in between sessions or the next session, to be able to implement what we're teaching you. Because if you're just sitting here and listening and don't take action, it's not helping you, it's not helping the studio, and I would feel so remiss if we didn't empower you and get you out there to make this happen, right? I don't want to waste your time, nor mine or anyone's, right? The other thing is maybe you have a smartphone, maybe you don't. And if you don't have a smartphone, I apologize. Eventually everyone's going to have a smartphone, but if you have a smartphone, then you're going to want to go check out something called Every Post. And let me jump out of this so I can show that to you. And it's everypost.me, everypost.me, okay? And what this is, it's an application that you can download onto your phone. So if you have an iPhone, visit the Apple Store, or iTunes Store, and if you have an Android, visit the Google Play Store and basically follow the directions, right? So just go onto your phone, open up your internet browser, and go to everypost.me, and then come here and click on the appropriate device that you have. And what it does, it's the easiest and most convenient app to post multimedia content across multiple social platforms. You can now customize your content per social network, or just write and forget about the limitation of 140 characters. So you can see here that it integrates to Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, Tumblr, LinkedIn, even Dropbox, okay? So from your phone, you can instantly upload a video, a picture, any kind of shareable content, and from one interface, you can instantly share it on all your social channels at once. Remember we talked about being busy and overwhelmed? This is a fantastic solution. And by the way, did I mention it's totally free, to where you can take this app, upload content to Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and Pinterest all at one time, right? Now realize in order for this to work, you're going to need to have an account with each of these social platforms, right? We'll cover these in the future and how to create accounts, but if you know how to create a Facebook account, it's not that hard to set up a Twitter account or a Google+ account, and this Every Post application makes it fairly simple to be able to integrate and get it all set up from a user interface perspective, meaning it should walk you step by step through the process of integrating their application with each social media channel. All right. So, with that said, that's the conclusion of tonight's first episode. We're planning on doing another event that's going to cover Facebook specifically in greater detail in about 2 to 3 weeks. We need to schedule a time with Bonnie because we found out Thursdays may not be the best night for the Catitude studio. We will try to get feedback and try to appeal to everybody as far as choosing a time, but unfortunately we can't always make that happen. Again, all of these are going to be recorded, and we're going to upload these to the Catitude's YouTube channel, so be on the lookout for that. And we're also going to be sending out everyone an email follow-up with a link to our help desk, and we'll probably even include links here to the Every Post system, as well as how to go about creating a Gmail account and a link to information on that. So again, I want to apologize for the technical difficulties tonight. I'm not sure why we're having the issues that we had tonight. We'll review that and make sure that we get those fixed for the next event. And please just thank Bonnie for putting all of this together. And if you have any questions before we wrap up, we'll take a few questions. So let me go ahead and type that in. Any questions that you want to ask? All right, well, we're not getting any questions, so I'm assuming that hopefully tonight was fairly simple. Again, apologies for the technical difficulties, and we'll work on maybe even possibly reshooting this to make it a better video publication. And thank you very much for attending, and we are going to get in-depth into detail. We're going to get our hands dirty on the next session on Facebook and going into some really cool ways to be able to engage in some groups and some communities and to start building a following. We're going to talk about how to build a page and how to promote that for your business as an artist. and help you to build a brand, and then we'll show you how to interconnect with each other. So hopefully you'll go out and share this content with your artists and make sure that they're on for the next event. And I look forward to seeing you on the next event. Once again, I apologize for the technical difficulties, and I will see you at the next event, helping you guys become even greater and more successful artists. Thank you guys so much.